Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Pooja Kotecha, and I'll be playing the role of Sergeant with arms in today's meeting. I welcome you all to the 484th meeting of Central Delhi Toastmasters Club. So again, like every week, why are we here? Are we fulfilling the mission, the purpose, the reason why we are here today? So I'm here to again remind you that the mission of our class is to provide a positive and supportive learning environment in which members are empowered to grow and develop communication skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. Without further ado, I would like to call upon the president of our class, Toastmasters, who is very hardworking and he has also interest in theater. He loves to meet new people, communicate, talk, and with this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Pradyum on the stage.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? Great. We have such an interesting meeting planned for every one of you today. But before moving further, let us take 30 seconds of silence for world peace. Thank you, everyone. A very interesting experience, a moment happened with me a couple of days back. So every once in a blue moon, me and my college friends come together near our college in a cafe. We sit down and we just discuss about things and what is going on in our life. Since we are in different classes, we do not get time within the college to go out and have fun and discuss what's going on within each other's life. And there are three friends, me, Rahul, and Amit. So Rahul said that I need to make time for some gym. I just do not have time in my schedule for my fitness. To which Amit said, you need to make time. And I very boastfully answered, time is a non-renewable resource. Use it judiciously. To which Rahul instantly asked me, how is Toastmasters going? I realized what had happened. A seemingly harmless conversation had transpired into a very hostile conversation. In a way where both of my friends had started questioning me. And wait a minute, you are questioning us and telling us that time is a very non-renewable resource. How are you using it? How is your Toastmasters journey going? You tell us about your daily thing. And at that moment, I realized that it was a heated argument, and Amit helped us diffuse the situation. While going back home, I came across something, and one of those Instagram quote pages, and it was written on that Instagram quote pages today, don't take anything personally. Not take anything personally. And there's a very famous saying. There's also this famous saying which says, do not attribute that, do not think of that as evil or malicious, that which can be easily explained by stupidity. And at that moment, I realized that in that seemingly normal conversation, which turned hostile, I became very, very angry. I became aggressive. And in these moments, I realized that it's okay. There's a lot of moments in our life when we think that people are targeting us, it is just us within our own head targeting ourselves. This was one moment that made me realize that it's okay. Sometimes it's a lot better when we don't take things personally. Moving further, let us now call upon the guest. We have today on the physical stage with us, guest with me. Will you please come up on stage, tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come about Toastmasters?
Thank you very much. Friends, मुझे Toastmasters का तो कुछ पता नहीं था क्या है क्या नहीं. मेरे फ्रेंड है मिस्टर माजी, तो इन्होंने कहा कि मैं कहीं जाता हूँ, आप चलना हो तो आ जाना। तो मैं रिटायर्ड हूँ, खाली तो होता ही हूँ, तो मैंने कहा ठीक है चलते हैं। तो मैं आ गया यहाँ पे। तो और मेरा कोई मुझे नहीं पता ये क्या है क्या नहीं है, क्या बताते हो क्या करते हो, आई हैव एब्सोल्युटली नो आइडिया। तो ये तो टोस्टमास्टर के बारे में। और अपने बारे में मैं रिटायर्ड हूँ, गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट हूँ। तो 2 साल हो गए मुझे रिटायर हुए, एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स में था। तो अभी बस मैं बेसिकली फिटनेस करता हूँ, रनिंग वगैरह करता हूँ, फिटनेस करता हूँ, दैट्स व्हाट आई डू मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम गोज इन दैट इज माय स्केड्यूल।
Thank you so much. Do we have any guests on the virtual stage? We have guests. Guest Ankit, could you please turn on your camera and tell us who you are, what do you do, and how did you come to know about Toastmasters?
Hello.
Yes, Ankit, you're audible.
I think there's some issue with with my camera. Is it okay if I speak without it?
That's all right. You can speak without the camera.
Hi. Thank you so much for allowing me to join this meeting. I'm actually based out of Gujarat and came to know about Toastmasters. I work for Accenture as a consultant. So I came to know about Toastmasters through one of my friends, and they insisted me to joining Toastmasters club. So then I searched about it, and I came to know about your club. So then I connected with one of the members of your club, and that's how I'm here. So excited to be part of this group and looking forward to a lot of interactions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. Do we have any other guests on the virtual stage? All right. With that being said, let us now call upon our Toastmaster today on stage with her theme Fun Times and Hobbies. Fun Times and Hobbies, Toastmaster Pooja.
Fun times and hobbies. I'm sure most of us can relate to this topic. Well, everybody has some hobby or the other, some way to pass time. And that's what makes us interesting and different from each other, because most of us have different hobbies. Some people like reading and some people cannot read at all. Yeah, today I was just checking, this Raghav messaged me that he loves to read, sorry, Hriday, that he loves to read. And I'm somebody, I can't read even a page. It takes me a month to finish a page. So yeah, today's meeting is going to be very interesting. We'll get to know more about what all you all like doing. And so very quickly, without taking much of our time, I would just like to hear one-liners from you all about not specifically your hobby, but why do you think we should actually pursue? Like a lot of people, many of us actually, since the time we started working, going to college, we've stopped prioritizing these hobbies and activities because we somewhere think, okay, that's not that important, that can wait. But we somewhere need to prioritize our work, our family, and sometimes hobbies, they take backseat. So let's hear from you one by one that why is it important and whether it should be a priority or not. Let's start with Navya. Good evening, everyone. So talking about hobbies, so dance is something that I think that is my hobby. And recently I've been really busy from past couple of months. And for those who don't know, I learned Kathak, the classical song. So honestly, this is one thing that really needs immense practice, daily practice and consistency for you to become like absolutely good at it. So as Pooja said, prioritizing. So as I told you, I have been busy from past couple of months and I have not been focusing on dance that much. So make it a priority, which actually makes me happy.
So let me clarify. Your second question was that should we make our hobbies somewhere our priorities, add them into our main routine? And the first question was?
First, so right now, because since we have the time constraint, so like I just wanted to know that whether we should, like, a lot of people think that, okay, fitness is important, working out is, I mean, going to office is important, going to college is important, family time is important, but hobbies can wait, like I said earlier. So what are your thoughts on this?
I believe that hobbies are something that make us feel relaxed. Doing something that we like out of a daily schedule that society is setting up to do. Hobbies are something that makes us feel relaxed, that makes us feel that it's okay. That me time is something that each one of us requires for us to get out of that schedule and relax. And that is my.
And what is your hobby? It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of it.
Toastmaster Ankit?
Thank you so much for asking this question. I believe hobby is something that is not mandatory, but it is necessary. Hobbies are something that we do but don't feel tired. So my hobby is when you texted me this thing that what is your hobby, it took me time to recollect. This is my hobby because I'm not following this for quite a long time. It's like reading books, especially astrology ones. So give me a thought. I should focus on this thing because this is necessary. So not for my next.
Thank you very much. For me, I have two kinds of hobbies. One is the one that I think is inside me that I love to watch cinema. The second is the sports hobby that I've created myself. So these are like reading, doing yoga, and that's how I think. It's important to me because I feel I have to get away from social media. Because if I don't have a hobby, I'll waste my time in social media, which I also on social media. So yeah, that's it.
I have one question for you, Arvind. How do you create sports hobbies?
I create it with a rule of 1 minute.
Can I do that with reading?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Just start with 1 minute, whatever you do, and gradually reach it, and that's how it is.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Raghav?
So for habits, I would say that we should make habits that make us feel relaxed, and they are also fruitful for us in life. For example, reading. Reading helps us. It's not a time pass. It's a effective. We have to pass the time, and return we are taking something from it. So yeah. Well, I can't imagine myself not playing FIFA in my proper routine. Even though I am really great there, but it's a way that I get lost somewhere and there's no tension of assignment projects, etc. Yeah.
So imagine 80% hobby. Is it?
So it was in class 6 I saw my father speaking in public for the first time. And it really gave me chills that time. And I saw the audience, clapping, and I saw him to do after that the next day. So it was basically, following the father and ahead or ahead of it. So this is the reason why whenever I do something, I make a video and send it. So yeah, that obviously is something that doesn't mean that I'm doing some work. It's a part of my life, it's a part of my process. So yeah, that's the thing.
For me, my hobby is to traveling around, especially that I think I'm finding when I still out place to eat. So whenever I'm free from my work, I try to ensure that I don't force my vacation for the next year or for anybody else. I force my boss to give me the vacation. So no matter what, I take at least 3 weeks to 4 weeks, and I take that time out for myself and I like around this time lately for the last 2 years. Otherwise, before that, I was writing around the world. I'm also trying to find out the best place to eat the local authentic. So these are the two things that I do. Thank you.
For me, hobbies are like fun time. So without fun, person would be horror on himself. That's why I think hobbies are important in his life. Hobbies play a very
Okay, I have a different question for you. How do we prioritize hobbies?
I focus on present. Whatever I am doing, I'll do it. 3 days back, one week back, one of my I have a hobby to talk to people, and it has bolstered during the 4 months of Toastmasters, and I talked to one of my colleagues. She told me that she wants to learn Urdu. So do I. So I started, because once I get the science and work, I just, diligently follow that. I started searching the resource for that. So I talked to some person, told that there is one call me. So you can reach out to him. Then it was in my mind, and what I get up early around say 2 or 3 o'clock, and I started doing, capturing all my thoughts, and suddenly I realized we have Google, we have YouTube, we have Google Mama. Why don't we search the Urdu tutor there? So I found a channel, and I went to 3 of those chapters, and at least I know how to write Alif or Alif Madda or Pe.
Yes, at least I like to do this trekking. I do quite often. I go for trekking. I am a member of Life Member since 1980. I am a member of Youth Hostel as a Life Member. So I do trekking a lot. Trekking, I do running. That is also my passion. But the most important thing, apart from that, my main focus remains in the reading, but now I have more or less not the reading, but that is basically on the spiritual level. How who you are basically. Self-inquiry. I am mostly in that, and most of the time.
Hobbies keep things same. हिंदी में बोले तो सही आने से बताता है. And my hobbies are football and reading. I don't like.
Okay, so kind of give us one tip on how we can prioritize. Like I said, we in our day-to-day life we forget to pursue what we like, and we do what we have to do. So in our day-to-day life, how can we actually pursue our hobbies? Any one tip to all of us? Ritik wants to say something. Yes, Ritik.
I really understand that it is very hard to, make this thing happen within the time and space. So you can basically make it a part of the job. For example, if I love debating, I'll be debating on the topic that I'm reading for the time. So debating comes into that. Let's say someone loves playing or going to do something like that. So he can actually go forward from the topic or something. It's not necessary for all of us to, have a separate time slot or separate day. Let's make it a part of a profession of our daily basis. So we can find out.
Very well said. Toastmaster Rajiv, whom do we have in virtual space?
We have Toastmaster Rashmi and Toastmaster Bhavananda and Toastmaster.
Perfect. Toastmaster Rashmi. Toastmaster Rashmi, am I audible?
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Toastmaster Rashmi. So, ma'am, can you tell us what do you do for your fun time during your free time, as your hobby?
Right from the beginning, I have always been interested in music, dance, painting, and playing indoor games and outdoor games. So I've been jack of so many trades, master of none. But these have always helped me to relax myself and to save myself from psychological crisis in my life at every point of my life.
Wonderful. Toastmaster Amol?
Yes. I'm audible.
Very much.
Right. So what was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. The question.
Toastmaster Amol, do you prioritize hobbies in your life?
I try to prioritize hobbies in my life because of the fact that I would get bored by just doing the mundane things. But unfortunately, they couldn't get prioritized. The only day I have for my hobbies is Sunday, and even that gets wasted on work. So I can't prioritize hobbies at this moment, but I do try.
Okay, thank you. Toastmaster Bhavanand.
Yes, good afternoon. Good
Good
evening,
afternoon.
everyone.
Good evening. Toastmaster Bhavanand, what are your top 3 hobbies?
Pardon.
What are your top 3 hobbies?
Top
Since
free
you're so
hobby.
talented, yes, since you're so talented, I'm sure you must be having multiple hobbies. We want to hear top 3.
Yeah, in this world, if we divide this world, so there are 2 worlds, materialistic world and a spiritual world. So whenever I get time from material world, then I try to utilize maximum time in a spiritual world, because when I consider myself in a spiritual world, then I think if I give I give number on a scale, so that would be very less. So I want to devote that time in a spiritual world, and I have many things to explore in a spiritual world. I try to learn many books that is spiritual. So for example, I can tell you a book related to Vedic knowledge, spirituality, meditation, mental peace. So I love to read these kind of books. Over to TM Pooja.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the conversation.
Pardon
Now
me, Toastmaster Pooja, Darshan is also there.
Oh, okay,
On
Toastmaster
virtual.
Darshan.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So, the same question for me as for the others. I can't hear you.
Toastmaster Darshan, do you think hobbies are important? If yes, then why?
Yes, hobbies are important, as the hobby says that it's about enjoying, taking a break from your work, and in the pleasure time, that is a time where you have some pleasures and breaking that monotony of working for hours daily, and that's why we have the weekends. It's not about just doing a consistently a one type of hobby like reading books or hanging out with friends and doing creative stuffs, arts and all. It's about that doing anything which impacts your work in a positive manner, and you have a lot of courage to take back to that, thing where you're enjoying your work too. So the basic meaning of hobby for me will be to take a break from your tasks and to get back to them with more power.
Wonderful. Moving on to the meeting. Meeting is today divided into 3 segments. It's a little different meeting than our usual meeting. The first segment being the prepared speech segment, in which our speakers have taken time out, have really put in a lot of hard work in prepared their speeches. Second segment being election segment, which will be taken over by our Toastmaster Akshay Sinha. And the third segment being evaluation segment, which is a very, very important and critical part of Toastmasters, because only because of the evaluation, there is a scope that we can improve. No matter how good the speech is, there is always a scope of improvement, and our speech evaluator and general evaluator actually help us improvise on our speeches. So with this, I would like to first start with the introduction of the pillars of today's meeting, who are auxiliary role players. Starting with the timer, Toastmaster Arvind. So when I asked Toastmaster Arvind to tell him something about himself, I'm going to read verbatim by what he said. अब नाचीज किस मुंह से खुद की तारीफ करें। बंदे का नाम अरविंद शाह है। यूं तो शाह का मतलब राजकुमारों से होता है, पर ये बंदा तेल मीनिंग ऑयल के कुएं मीनिंग वेल की एक निजी कंपनी में मामूली सा मुलाजिम है। And his hobbies are मौसीकी, शायरी और सिनेमा का शौक पसंद फरमाते हैं। एक दिन महफिल टोस्ट मास्टर में शिरकत करने का मौका मिला। उस दिन से टोस्ट मास्टर से हल्का हल्का सा ओन हो गया, ओन मीन्स लव। अब आलम ये है कि तन्हाई में तस्वुरत मतलब इमेजिनेशन में महबूबा के हसीन चेहरे से काबिल टोस्ट मास्टर की आने वाली अंजुमन मीन्स मीटिंग के ख्यालात आते हैं और मेरा ये बेकरार हो जाता है। So now, Toastmaster Arvind is going to translate this entire thing and introduce himself again. With this, over to Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, for the succinct introduction.
No, I wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Basically, there is nothing to explain. I think all of you get what I'm trying to say. Very nalla aadmi. So, today I'll be playing the role of a timer. My duty includes to note down the time of everyone who's going to come on the stage. Time is important, we all know that. But how important it is, we will all get to know at 8:45 p.m. today, because everybody needs to rush to their home. So please use your time judiciously. Also, if I talk about today's theme, hobby, fun time. For me, every time is a fun time because we can always have alternates in life. For example, while thinking of my role as a timer, I was feeling myself as a cheerleader because I have these 3 pom-poms. So when, for example, a speaker is delivering a speech and in 5 minutes, I'm going to show the green pom-pom. And when it's 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow pom-pom. And at 7 minutes, I'll show the red pom-pom, which means you have exceeded your time limit. Similarly, in the evaluation segment, speech evaluators, I will show green, yellow, and red pom-poms at 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and 3 minutes. It's important to adhere to your timing, but the most important thing is enjoy your time while you are on stage. I will come back on stage with my report on time right at the evaluation segment. That's it for now. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you for explaining your rules so well, Toastmaster Arvind. Now we have language evaluator, Toastmaster Raghav. Toastmaster Raghav loves to read. He's a chess enthusiast and foodie. We have a lot of foodie people here in the club. Also, he says that hobbies in life are as important as oregano seasoning on pizza. Clearly he's a foodie. So with this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Raghav on stage to explain his role.
So, good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Working hard is the key to success. Those who have fun in life are losers. Do epic shit. I'm not promoting viral book. We have listened to this a lot on social media, right? So I would say that this is not completely false that hard work leads to success. But I would say that playing hard is as important as working hard in life. So in this day and age, there is a lot of stress in our life. So we need to relax. Like if you won't relax, that the stress would inculcate in our mind, which could even decrease our productivity. That may cause even more to us. So coming back to my role, we know that having fun is important. Working hard is also important. One more thing is important. Correct usage of grammar. I'm telling you, I know about my role. Okay, so using correct usage of grammar is important because if we want to communicate a message to someone opposite to us, they need to understand it. If we want a desired message or a thing from them in return. So I'll be playing the role of language evaluator today.
or I should say, English teacher for today. So I'll be noting down some good usage and bad usage of English language. The word of the day is transpire, which means something that occurs or takes place. For example, no one would forget what transpired in previous meeting. And the idiom of the day is once in a blue moon, which means something that is very rare to happen. For example, he shows up once in a blue moon. I encourage everyone to please use the word and the idiom of the day as many times as possible throughout the meeting. And I also request to show a thumbs up when the word and the idiom of the day is spoken throughout the meeting. And one last thing, the mode of communication is English. So if you speak anything in a language other than English, please translate it for the audience. I'll be back with my report in the evaluation segment. Back to Toastmasters.
Very beautifully explained, but I think another important part of another important thing is also the unnecessary sounds that are made by speakers, which Toastmaster they will explain us better. As you know, he's a voracious reader. He's going to really note all the unnecessary sounds made by our Toastmasters and make a note of it. Toastmasters, as they say, that it's very important to have hobbies so that a person can't get bored, and some hobbies like reading can also develop their interests and skills for their future. With this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Hriday on stage.
So some kids think that their parents have a hobby to scold them. Have any of you thought that? Okay, so today I'm a parent. I would not be scolding you, but I would be noting down all your mistakes like and pauses. So please avoid them and use them once in a blue. So that's my role of today. Back to you more.
Wonderful, our auxiliary team is set. Now we will move on to the first segment of today's meeting, which is a prepared speech segment. So to introduce our first speaker, Toastmaster Ankit, I would like to call upon the evaluator, Toastmaster Ritwik, on the stage. Toastmaster Ritwik says that having no hobbies in life is like having a heart without love within. Very well said.
During Toastmasters and guests, today circumstances have conspired to bring PM Ankit Sinha on the stage, giving a speech from L1P2, Pathways being Engaging Humor, with the project title being Writing a Speech with Purpose, and the speech title being Daily Soaps. The speech purpose being learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, kindly note that you got to show the green form at the end of 5 minutes, the yellow form at the end of 6 minutes, and the red form at the end of 7 minutes, buffer of 30 seconds or after and after the reverse. So having a personal conversation with the guest speaker, we have sense of humor being the parameter to be checked in most topics. So it's a request to the audience also to have a check on it so that we can give a better feedback to him. Now it's all being said. We are waiting for the stage to be put on fire by the guest speaker until himself. Thank you.
Toastmaster Ankit says that his hobby is reading astrology and he loves cricket and badminton. With this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Ankit for his level 1 project to speech Daily Soap. Daily Soap, Toastmaster Ankit Sinha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Good evening. Yesterday, my wife was watching serial named Kundli Bhag. I was sitting right next to her. I realized one thing. Even after 5 years, this serial story is like 4 steps forward, 5 steps back. 4 steps forward, 5 steps back. So, for the sake of curiosity, I tried to find out whether there is some story or not. So I Googled, and to my surprise, there was this story. So what I read it there, what's my observation is following. Preeta Arora, along with her sister Christy, leave her hometown after death of their father. Because it's her father's wish was to reunite with her estranged mother Sarla living in Mumbai. Sarla, same lady who is playing mother in other serial named Kumkum Bhag, telecasting just before that, where there is another daughter named Pragya Arora doing for the same story. In the initial episode, it was shown that they are so poor. Even Preeta doesn't have 20 rupees to give to her. Since it's a couple serial, so you cannot remain weak for a long time. So after a certain time, Preeta meets Luthra and become their physiotherapist. Luthra family, giant business. I do not know what they do. They just visit your office single day, sign a contract, 1,000 rupees, 1,000 crore inside. Mrs. Luthra has two grandsons, Karan Luthra, Rishabh Luthra. Karan Luthra, famous cricketer. Though he has never been shown playing cricket in any of the episodes. Rishabh Luthra, business tycoon. But both the persons were waiting for one girl named Preeta Arora. Let Preeta Arora come so that we can have our story forward. Preeta and Karan alliance moves forward. Slowly moves to a next level. Love-hate relationship. But here comes a misunderstanding, as usual. And the story was like that. I recollect 70s movie, two heroes, one heroine, loving the same girl. Everyone knows except this. Here is the entry of villain. Yes, there are villains too. Villain named Prithvi and Shirley. This one very important thing in this series that all the male characters are interested in female lead. So this Prithvi is interested in Preeta Arora. One more villain, Shirley. Shirley loves Prithvi. So just A behind B and B behind C, and all are running into circle. What they are doing? Prithvi is doing all kinds of conspiracies to degrade this Luthra family. On popular demand, Karan married Preeta, but that too out of some coincidence. He was not going to marry, he was hiding somewhere, marriage happened. There is one more villain, Karan's college friend, one-sided lover. She has only one daughter. Disturb life of Karan and Preeta. I do not know what these people do, how they earn their livelihood. We have to work really hard. We have to come to attend Toastmasters meeting, go to our colleges or job. They don't do such kind of stuff. So after marriage, story is not simple. Preeta cannot conceive a baby because of the pills given by that third number one. So they adopt a child. Even afterwards, the story is not simple. That girl, Pihu, is killed on a road accident by a truck. Obviously planned by this tribe, Prithvi, Shirley, and Sonakshi. Then the entire Luthra family blame Preeta that you have done all this. I do not know. There is only one role that these families do. First, they celebrate festival. Any festival, say Ganesh Utsav, Diwali, Holi, any festival, they just going to celebrate. And second, they just blame the prime character. At the right time, they reach there. And third, very important thing, good observation that you must have noticed. They have huge mansion, long mansion, but they keep on standing all the time. Sofas are there, and they're standing like this, looking at each other. So agree by this, just come back to main story. Agree by this, Preeta leaves Bombay for 2 years. Though they was not off of 2 years, just one episode. I wish he could have gone off there at least for 2 years. After 2 years, Preeta comes back and joins the clinic. She's a physiotherapist. You must have remembered. Though it's never been shown whether she is going to clinic, just there's a one phone call. Yes, I'm coming from my clinic. There's some emergency all the time. During these 2 years period, entire Luthra family property has been taken over by Prithvi. Just by doing the simple trick. Just make Mr. Luthra drunk, get his signature, acquire the whole property. I do not know what we are doing in this communication and leadership journey. So all in all, the story is very long, cannot be summarized 5 to 7 minutes. But what's my takeaway? My takeaway is this: why people watch these serials? Because in our life we are busy in our struggles. Someone is going office, someone is going college, but they don't do anything. Just lavish life. Every resource is available, every resource is very handy. And the moment you start watching the serial, you become addict. Addict, you have a feeling that one day these two characters will live together. And this, my dear friends, is not going to happen. Never, never. At least in 5 years, it didn't happen. So, if you wish to know more, just 9:30 ZTV Kundli Bharati. Okay, thank you.
Very beautiful speech, Toastmaster Ankit, and I think you can really promote in future the thing of promoting movies and okay, without further ado, I would like to call upon, before I call upon the second speaker, I would like to call upon the evaluator of Toastmaster Toastmaster Bhavanand Jha on the virtual stage. Over to you.
Toastmasters and guests, today TM Aviral is going to deliver L1 P2 speech, and his speech title is I Hate Goodbye. I hope he is going to transpire his speech with purpose. All the best, TM Aviral. Over to Timot Puja.
Toastmaster Aviral, I hate goodbye. I hate goodbye. Toastmaster Aviral on the physical stage.
We all are emotionally connected to the places where we have spent our childhood, right? Do you miss that place? Well, I surely do. Sometimes I feel like I could relive those carefree moments once again. I remember I was just 6-year-old when we shifted to our new house in Greater Noida. But who knew I would leave that place with sack full of memories that I will cherish forever in my life. Good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and the guests present here. My name is Avril, and today I'm going to be sharing the biggest transition that I ever had in my life. What does a typical routine of a 6-year-old would be? He or she goes to school, comes back, takes a nap, and then goes to play, right? Well, I was nothing new. I was pretty good, but I found kids with similar kind of routine, and we got along and became friends. And then each and every evening was spent playing games like guarding the numbers, chain game, ice water, oof, nostalgia, right? But as we grew older, these kind of games got bit boring. We decided to ring the doorbells of our neighbors, smashing the letterboxes of each and every tower, and then running for our lives. And trust me, it was way too much. Back then, we didn't use YouTube that much. So the only way to kill our curiosity was to actually implement it. So one day my friend just said, what does exist in those fire extinguishers? And yeah, we did exactly what we are thinking about right now. We used around 20 to 25 fire extinguishers just for fun. But that curiosity cost us a lot of money. Because who knew an uncle had recently installed some advanced CCTV cameras in his house, and our photographs were being forwarded into different society groups. With a tag, these teenagers are nuisance to the society.
And those photographs were eventually forwarded to my father too. And he was like, "Is this you?" And my reply was, "We look similar. Who is he?" I was scolded very badly. He hauled me, threw me out of the house, and for the first time, I felt that abandonment. And hopefully, it would be the last time. Well, everybody knows that I love football. I watch it, and I sometimes play it too. But the sport that I really played with ambition and zeal was badminton. I was just 7 years old when I was casually playing at the badminton court, and when uncle came with his son, who was of my age, and luckily he chose me as his son's training partner. And on every evening, he used to train us that we used to train every evening, and gradually we became better and better at it. We used to have different competitions in our society. I won singles under 13, and trust me, it was not any less competitive than Olympics. Kidding, I am. Well, but I'm going to be very grateful to that uncle to teach me those lessons so that I could fall in love with that very beautiful sport. And eventually, that badminton court became my everything. It became my second home, became my love and what. Well, when people used to say, if you can't find a girl anywhere, you'll surely find it at the court. And when everything was going very smooth, I remember it was the time I was in 11th. My father said to me, "Aviral, you're shifting from this." And that day I was like, "But why? Everything is good here." To which he replied, "I got a better opportunity somewhere." That time, when I needed to be very happy for him, I had tears in my eyes because I didn't know how to live without my favorite people around me. How to live in a city that is totally unknown, that is 260 kilometers away from my favorite city. All those memories that I had in 10 years just snapped in front of my eyes, and I could do nothing. And very soon, the packing got started. All those 10 years were wrapped up in 4 to 5 hours. I gave a last glance to that wall on which I had my posters, my favorite footballer, Ronaldo. Then there is a big goodbye. I played my last match on that court and said that place a big goodbye. My friends were there in the morning to give me a tight hug and to say each other a big goodbye. And these are the reasons because of which I hate big goodbyes, because these make a person cry, these make a person emotional. Well, this thing had to be transpired someday, and we had to part ways. 24th March 2018, sharp at 5 a.m., I left that place. I left my friends behind. But who knew that I'm going to be starting a new chapter, a new phase in my life. And guess what? Where I was heading towards. It was the city of love. No, it was not Paris. It was city of love in India. It was Dehradun. Well, I'll be back someday with some memories from this beautiful city too. So yeah, see you soon. Not a goodbye. Thank you.
Beautiful story, Toastmaster Aviral, and next time we look forward to hear your Dehradun story too. We had two interesting speakers today, very engaging and very beautiful speeches. So I would like everyone to please take 30 to 40 seconds and share your feedback with the speakers, and also kindly vote for the best speakers. It would be nice if you all can also share your feedback. The speaker is very motivating and encouraging. I think most of you all are done, so can we move on? Perfect. So now there's going to be a very interesting segment, election. And And for this, I would like to call upon our election master, Toastmaster Ankit Sinha, again on the stage.
Thank you so much of the day. Good evening again. Friends, do you see these trophies? 1, 2, 3. Any idea what these trophies are? These trophies have been given to our club for excellent performance. And excellent performance is it possible because of our EC members, because our executive committee only just they do so much hard work day in day out. So it's not a just 2-hour meeting that they come here like us. They need to talk on daily basis. They need to draft this whole meeting. They keep on working hard and hard and hard. And that's why we see this 2-hour beautiful meeting. So big round of applause for our EC. Friends, unfortunately, some of our EC members, due to some commitment, had to resign from their positions. And so the bus, which actually is available only on 6-monthly basis, there is one window where you can board that bus of executive committee. 3 positions are open. First is vice president membership. Second, vice president public relations. And third is secretary. But before conducting that election, we need to be sure whether we have the required quorum or not. So, Mr. President, could you please tell that what is our club strength?
Our club strength as of now is 23 members in good standing.
In good standing, and how many of them are present physically, and how many of them are online?
We have 3 paid members online.
Okay.
And on the physical stage, we have 12 members.
Okay.
On the physical stage.
12 members in the physical room and 3 in online mode. That means 15. So that means we have a quorum and we can go ahead with the election. So election process will be very simple. This nomination committee has not been set up, so nomination will be called from the floor. It means anyone, any member can raise his hand and nominate himself or herself for the EC position. Firstly, we will have a election for we have vice president membership. Then moving on to we have president PR. Then to second. After raising his hand, his nomination needs to be seconded by some other member. Don't worry, we are quite generous, and you will have so many seconds. That's not a big issue. If only one person raises his hand, rather only one person nominates himself or herself, then there will not be any election, and that person will be treated as elected by casting one vote on behalf of the club by the club president, Toastmaster president. In case we have more than one, that means there is a competition, then in that case, you need to present your vision on the stage by way of 2-minute speech. That what would you like to do in this EC position? Is your vision 2 minutes? 2 minutes is a max time. No card will be shown. Just after 2 minutes, our timer, Toastmaster Arvind, will start clapping and you will be stopped. Contestant will be called in the order of their surnames alphabetically. So, any clarity you need? Anything? Should we begin the election? Thank you. So I open the floor for the position of vice president membership. Toastmaster Rajiv is raising his hand. Anyone would like to second his nomination for the post of vice president membership?
I do.
Okay, thank you. So we have one contender, Toastmaster Rajiv, for the post of vice president membership. Any other member? Online audience also. Toastmaster Kanav also. Anyone would like to second his nomination? Okay. Now we have 2 contenders. Toastmaster Raghav. Toastmaster Aviral has also joined us. So many contenders. The election is going to be a really, really interesting one. 3 contenders, Toastmaster Rajiv, Toastmaster Kanav. And Toastmaster Aviral, would you like to see contender number 4? Online audience, online members, not audience, online members. You can also raise your hand. We have 3 contenders. Should we wait for number 4 or not?
There is no one on the virtual stage. Please hand.
Okay. And from the physical stage, anyone would like to raise hand for this prize position of Vice President membership of the most prestigious club on the earth? So anyone would like to move the motion to close the nomination for the post of VP membership?
And move the motion to close now.
Anyone would like to second it? Okay, so the motion has been moved, it has been seconded. The nomination for the post of Vice President membership has been closed. The speech time. 3 contenders. Toastmaster Rajiv, your full name is? Rajiv Kumar. Kanav? Korea. Aviral? Agro. So Aviral will come first, then Toastmaster Kanav, and afterwards we will hear from Toastmaster Rajiv. Toastmaster Aviral, already Toastmaster Aviral is very excited. So please welcome him for 2 minutes.
Well, I don't know about my convincing power, but rhetoric is a very the best contender of this position, and I got convinced in about 2 minutes of I didn't even know that I have to speak over here, but I'm not that even bad at convincing you. I have convinced my friends as you got to know, doing all that stuff. And I don't have much to talk about right now. You all know I have been here in the club for 2 or 3 months. So on the basis of few things that if I do for this position, you can work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aviral. Our second contender is Toastmaster Kanav. Please welcome him.
So I have been a VP membership of another club. I resigned because what is our theme, hobby. It's not my hobby to talk to people, and it frustrated me. And I regret that I left that position. So I know that I can mentally more prepared to be again do that. And what I can do is instill my confidence in all the new members that join, and I'll give them my confidence if I have it. That's it.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanav. Please welcome Toastmaster Rajiv Kumar on stage.
Good evening, Toastmaster and guests present here. You know, today I'm standing here as your nominee for the Vice President membership. And I'd like to mention why I'm a good, strong contender for this is because of the fact that I work for the organization which is called Confederation of Indian Industry, which is a member-led and member-organized organization. So basically, we are membership-driven organization. So we have 9,000 members. So for me, membership is not a new thing. We deal with members from small, medium, and large companies on a daily basis, including interaction with diplomats and bureaucrats on a daily basis. So we are trained to treat each and individual members with alacrity and courtesy. So today, I'd like to mention that I have come up with a bunch of 3 ideas that I like to implement if I have given the opportunity of Vice President membership, which is A, to add new members to the club. How we are going to add new members to the club? By use of the social media, especially the Instagram. I'll be using the Instagram as one of the tools for that by releasing short videos every interval of each member, which will show the visibility of the club strongly. Secondly, flyer. Each guest who comes to the club, they attend the meeting and they go out without, I mean, of course, they interact with the meeting membership and that's it. I would like to have this kind of a flyer, a handout that could be given to them, which will have information about the club, message from the president of the club, and of course, the message from our celebrity Toastmasters, Deepak Menon, followed by other EC members. So these are the things that I like to plan to do something comprehensive. And second point is to retain the current members, for which I would like to work with the, of course, DC membership to understand the goals and roles of each members and where they are heading. In addition to that, I would also like to introduce a mechanism of pledging by the mentors, which will ensure that they speak to their mentees on a regular basis and they are.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajiv, for a detailed speech. It's time for casting a vote and choose who is the most deserving for this position. So, Mr. Pratim, are the ballots have been distributed? So, friends, today we have 15 participants, 12 online, 12 offline, 3 online. That means a candidate who is going to win need to have at least 8 votes, more than 50%. It's not that the top scorer is a majority that is required for that position. Racing heartbeat, who's going to win? Result is going to be out very soon.
We have a confirmation if every 8 members has voted on the word previously.
Has everyone voted?
No, I don't know. I think yes.
Is that? I don't know. Can I see?
Yeah.
You can add it over there.
I don't know.
You just need to count whether all the ballots have come to you.
Can I check it out?
So results are going to be out very soon. In a minute or two, we are going to get our new vice president membership for a term July to December 2022. Executive is working really hard to count the ballots, and only they know what's going to happen. Right? So, Toastmaster Aviral, are you going to win? So, I have got the winner. Could you please tell me how many votes? I have got the name. I'm just waiting for the number. Yes, this kit has a winner name. Any guesses for the winner? Vice President membership of the Central Radio Sponsor Club. Any guesses? Mr. Rajiv. So Toastmaster Rajiv is our new vice president. Congratulations, Toastmaster Rajiv, and all the best to the remaining 2 candidates. Because we have 2 more positions. Vice President Public Relations, also an equally important position, because Vice President Public Relations designs the face of the organization. He can raise the bar, she can raise the bar. So should I open the floor for the nomination for Vice President Public Relations? Okay, I open the floor for the post of Vice President Public Relations. Now you may nominate yourself. Online members too, they can. Toastmaster Anmol, yes, we have got one contender, Toastmaster Anmol. Anyone would like to contest with Toastmaster Anmol because he loves competition. Anyone? Toastmaster Aviral, Toastmaster Kanav, Toastmaster Rizal? You have 15 more seconds. Just give it a thought. Else nomination from the floor are going to be closed. Toastmaster Kanav, yes. We have got contest. That means there will be election. There will be voting. So 2 contenders. I would like to speak. Toastmaster Aviral. Would you like to come? 2 contenders, Toastmaster Anmol and Toastmaster Kanav. Toastmaster Anmol, what's your full name?
Toastmaster Anmol is R.
S. Anmol.
I-S-S-E-R.
I. Okay, that means Toastmaster Kanav will go first. So before that, I would like anyone to move the motion to close the nomination for the position of Vice President Public Relations. Okay, the motion has been moved to close the nomination. Anyone would like to second?
I second.
There's so many seconds. So there's so many seconds are there. We can second it. Close the nomination. So 2 contenders. I am going to invite our contender number 1 for the position of Vice President Public Relations on the stage, Toastmaster Kanav.
I've seen many clubs with the Instagram account. I've seen a thing which is common, they don't have followers. Because what are they doing is wrong. There's nothing productive that gain followers. And everyone that comes to our club is searching on their own. They are not finding anything. They are searching, what should I get to speak? And then they are finding Toastmasters, not the other way around. So Instagram is not working at all. So I think and I think there's some change required. Maybe it will downfall or I don't know. So there's a thing that we can, this one flyer is needed. On Tuesdays, every Tuesday, there's a meeting. Nothing extra doing. Then we can record something on the what we say and post it. That my idea was that. This is totally not working. If you can see also the international website, Instagram ID, it has 56,000 followers. 56,000 means 3 persons from every club, 3 or 4. We don't love our Toastmaster International. 4. They just 2 flyers and nothing. So I had a Instagram account on 11. I had 150 members followers. That's it.
Friends, do you know what's the beauty of our club? Our EC take note of every suggestion, whether from any contender, whether he gets elected or 2, 3, 4 contenders, they just take note out of good things. So I was looking at that, they were Toastmaster and Toastmaster Navya was noting down what Toastmaster Kanav was trying to communicate. It's time to call our contender number 2, Toastmaster Anmol, on the virtual stage. Please welcome him.
I just need to check, am I audible?
Yes,
Am
you
I
are.
audible? Right. Okay. So When I first joined Toastmasters, first of all, good evening, everyone. Our beloved Toastmasters and our dear guests, physically. When I joined Toastmasters, I had this one knack in me that I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, and the club successfully helped me in that. And I thought maybe I should get this message across to everyone, each and everyone. Since I am a mass communication student, of course, I've graduated in journalism and mass communication. I thought the conveying a message to the masses, and I thought my creativity and my content with my success, my consistent content can help a lot with that. Also, along with that, speaking of experience, I have an experience in, of course, in a marketing company, and of course in our beloved EC of this club. Now, for the idea, I thought of this one thing, which was that this our club always had this thing where we just post a poster and then we just post the faces of the winners. But I thought we can do more than that. We can post what our club experience is like. We can engage our community more and more, especially our professional background, people from professional background on LinkedIn, not just Instagram, on various platforms like YouTube. And we can do that through club postings and very consistent with it. This was one of the ideas, and telling them how to be a better speaker. This and many more of the ideas will I've thought of, but that's all from my side. Thank you, everyone. Back to the election master.
Friends, you have listened both the speakers, both the contenders. Time to choose. Has everyone received the ballot so that they can vote? Please confirm if anyone has not received. I am going to write my favorite contender name. Any guesses? Toastmaster Kanav. One voice for Toastmaster Kanav. Anyone for Toastmaster Anmol?
Very confusing.
Very confusing. Ballots have been collected. Yes, counting is about to begin. Somewhere similar to the general election. Ballots have been collected. Counting is about to happen. And results can come out any moment. Here,
ask the anchor for a 1 minute time to the time of give more and you can engage the audience.
Just like in general election, we have the trend, but here we cannot show the trend that who's going in which way. Here, instead of election is results are there.
You can also comment like कनक के हाथ पे जा रहा है, then you get the अंदर के हाथ पे जाने वाला है.
So you can still have a sneak peek to the time you start.
Yes, no need of sneak peek. I have got the result, and interestingly, the numbers casted in favor of the winner are same as like VP membership. This person, Toastmaster Anmol, is a new vice president of our EC is total makeover is going to happen. So many new ideas. Toastmaster Rajiv, Toastmaster Anmol, who's going to be the last one to join the EC for the position of secretary? So I hereby open the floor for the position of secretary for the club. Thank you. Toastmaster Raghav is the first one. Raise his hand. Anyone would like to second this nomination? Great. We have so many seconds available. So first contender, Toastmaster Aviral. Any more? Anyone else? Toastmaster Raghav, would you accept it? Oh, sorry. I'm very confused. The Toastmaster Raghav is going to contest. Their faces are quite similar. I confirm with their name. Your full name is Toastmaster Raghav? Luna. Raghav Luna. Who is the second one who wants to compete with Toastmaster Raghav Luna and wants to give him tough time in the election? Online member Toastmaster Rashmi, would you like to contest?
No, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Your time is about to up. Anyone else? Last call. Last announcement. Else, Toastmaster Raghav will have a free ride. 10 seconds more. 9, 8, 7. Raise your hand. 6. People are trying to persuade each other. Time up. Anyone would like to move the motion to close the nomination for the position of secretary?
I second the full for the full process.
You need to move someone with that second. Okay, thank you. So nomination for the post of secretary has been closed. Since there was only one nomination, I request Toastmaster President to cast one vote in name of Toastmaster Raghav Luna so that he can be elected for the position of secretary.
Specifically, Toastmasters Club cast a vote for Toastmaster Raghav Luna as the secretary.
So Toastmaster Raghav Luna is our new secretary. So this is entirely new. So I hand over stage to one of our EC member, our team OD, Toastmaster Pooja.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters, for conducting such a wonderful election. It's quite an intense. Okay, so we would like to take 2 to 3 minutes break and get back again. Everyone seems settled. Now I would like to call upon Toastmasters Arjun, president of our class, for the installation.
Before I begin with the installation ceremony for the newly elected members of our executive committee, I would request the outgoing members, Toastmaster Arjun and Toastmaster Music, to please stand up. Can everyone in unison have a huge round of applause for the exemplary service and efforts that our outgoing officers have provided for our club. You are hereby discharged from all the further duties and responsibilities as officers of the executive committee or special Toastmasters. Thank you. Yeah. I'm here to install the officers of Central Toastmasters Club and to prepare them for the challenges that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club a strong, dedicated, and helping space for people from all walks of life, to make them better in an effective manner, to make them listen with sensitivity, and to make them think creatively. I would like to start off with the secretary of our club. Could you please, Toastmaster Raghavduna, come up on stage? I will ask each officer to hold the gavel as a symbol of leadership as I briefly describe the challenges they must meet and the responsibilities they must fulfill. Toastmaster Raghavduna, being elected as a secretary, your responsibilities include maintaining all the club records, maintaining and managing the club file, handling the club correspondence, taking minutes of meeting for each club meeting and meeting of the executive committee. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you. Can we have Toastmasters Anmol elected as the Vice President of Public Relations on the virtual stage? We can spotlight Toastmaster Anmol. That's all right. Thank Toastmaster Anmol is being spotlighted. Toastmaster Anmol, since we cannot give you the gavel virtually, do you have a pen, a fountain pen perhaps?
I do in fact have a pen, not a fountain pen, but a pen nonetheless.
I request you to hold up that pen while I announce to you your responsibilities as the Vice President Public Relations of the club. As the Vice President of Public Relations of the club, you are responsible to promote the club in the local community and notify the media about the club's existence, update the web content, and safeguard the Toastmasters brand identity. It is your job to notify the media whenever your club does something newsworthy. As Vice President Public Relations, you will find yourself writing news releases, creating and distributing flyers, and maintaining the club's presence on the web and in the community. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability, Toastmaster Anmol?
I will.
Can I please have our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Rajiv, on stage? Elected as the Vice President membership, Toastmaster Rajiv, your responsibilities include promoting the club and managing the processes of bringing in guests and transforming them into members. By initiating contact with guests, helping them feel welcome to the club, and providing them the information that they need to join our club. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability, Toastmaster?
I will.
It is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed into the offices for which they have been elected. Can you have a huge round of applause? Thank you, everyone. I will now be handing the stage back to the Toastmaster meeting.
Thank you and congratulations to all the newly elected AP members. We hope to see a lot of fun and good changes in the club. Now moving on. So before I move on to the last segment of today's meeting, I was wondering if Toastmasters can be considered as a hobby, because this is something it can be, right?
Yes, it can.
It is indeed.
So I struggle every week to reach the meeting. I reach on time, but then there's only the struggling. I have to leave my office early, reach the meeting. I'm never prepared for the meeting. But somewhere everyone knows that Tuesday from 6:30 to 9, Puja will not be available with my family, my friends, any social gatherings. I have sacrificed on a lot of things, and this is a space that I completely enjoy when I'm here. So, and I think I've prioritized, then probably special for coming straight away from heart, and I was asking all of you all that whether hobbies can be prioritized. There have been times when I've missed out on my work and I've been here. So, I think I have prioritized my hobby. And you all can decide whether you all want to.
There is so many things every week. Because every week something is there, but we
Yes. So with this, I would like to move on to the last segment of today's meeting, which is going to be the evaluation segment. As I mentioned earlier, it's a very important part of Toastmasters meeting. For this, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Navya. She will help us with the evaluation of the speakers, the evaluators, and the entire auxiliary team. So can I request Toastmaster Navya on the speaker stage, please? Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. Today I'll be your general evaluator, and let's start with the evaluation section. So what today you saw in the election segment, how instantly Toastmaster Abiral, Toastmaster Kanav stood up for these positions, and I don't think they earlier decided to stand so. This is what evaluation has done to them. That I remember when they came to the club for the first time, and what I saw them today delivering an impromptu speech, or like the confidence that they gave, that they had, and which made them come here and stand for an easy position. So this is what evaluation and Toastmaster has given. So let's not waste any more time. Let's not waste any more time, and let me call upon the first evaluator, Toastmaster District, who evaluated Toastmaster Ankit Sinasi.
On popular demand, let me congratulate him first for completing all his speech objectives of bringing in humor and also picking all the particular objectives, the intricacies of how a speech should be done. I will really commend him on first his hand gesture. For example, even after 5 years, 4 steps forward, 4 steps backward. Thank you for the evaluation. Giant business. So this shows the transition of time through his hand gesture. So there was purpose in his hand gesture. It was not merely moving hands here and there to show hand gesture. Next, we had a great eye contact with everyone in the audience. Sometimes due to nervousness, we tend to look at one person only who's listening to us keenly, but he missed out on the other part of the audience. But he was moving his gaze from every member to the other member. This shows confidence, and that actually promised, along with eye contact, audience awareness too. So let's take a note of that. We had great specific speech purposes being achieved because his humor throughout the speech was well felt and has transpired through the mind. If you notice, the audience was laughing throughout. So kudos to you on that. And love that use of time consideration. For example, when he mentions on popular demand, he stops and lets the audience laugh and then end laugh. This is considering the time, which is super important in comedy and humor. If you cannot place what time you got to place the bait, you won't be able to take out humor also, right? So he did it very handsomely. He was moving here and there as if it was a normal place, not a stage. It shows comfort level, which actually also reciprocates confidence levels. So kudos to you on that. To make this speech better the next time, maybe at certain pieces of this speech, you could have added more purpose to hand gestures. For example, when you said reunite, using hand gestures like this, you could have told reunite, something like this. When you said now comes the villain, you could have deepened your voice, and now comes the villain, Prithvi and Shirley. The entire Luthra family blamed him. So maybe you could have made facial expressions and also lowered a radio voice. So far, everybody is standing. So you could have added like Godrej be like my bad guy, something like that, and then convert it into standard English. So these are things which you could have done. So to summarize, great hand gestures, vocal variety, eye contact, audience awareness, specific speech purpose, and the general speech purpose being achieved. Great out of sense humor and comfort level, and to make it a better speech the next time, purposeful hand gestures, vocal variety, voice modulation, play of face and power to be added. That's it. Over to the team.
I would like to add one thing here. Recently, I started watching comics on season 3. And there is these people perform so good that we can learn so many things. We can learn so many things in detail. Where we need to take a pause, how we need to take a pause, so consistency becomes great. But it's a totally different level of comics. It's totally different level of these actors, entirely different. So we can raise our job from here to there. Just try to watch from a specific angle. This will surely help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. And thank you, speech evaluator Toastmaster Ritwik, for the detailed evaluation that you gave. I'm sure Toastmaster Ankit must have helped him. Calling the next speech evaluator, Toastmaster Bhavana, on the virtual stage.
Firstly, I congratulate TM Aviral for successfully transpired his speech with objective. My commendation are his confidence level, eye contact, facial expression that were marvelous. He started his speech when his house was shifting, then he was scared, and very nicely he said that that time he had a friend circle and he was connected with many games. He was doing very well, and it was very interesting. I was listening very attentively that what you were saying. My recommendation are your feet were continuously moving. So this is my opinion. You should maintain gravity and try to complete one line, and then you can change your position. Here I can't show that. So that is my first recommendation. Second recommendation, whatever you are delivering, so you should have key line. And on key line should be 4 to 5 words. and you should emphasize on that line. Means what is the learning from your objective. Then voice modulation, I think it was okay, but you can improve voice modulation also. And one more point, your speech title were, I hate I hate goodbye. So here, what is the learning? Because nothing is permanent. So you should add what may be. If nothing is permanent, then how you can be connected with world? You can be connected with society. You can be connected with your home. So that also you can include. Overall, it was fantastic. Your confidence, your eye contact, your facial expression, and you kept your story in order. That's why it was very interesting. Over to general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavana. Now I would request the tech master to launch the post for best evaluator on the virtual stage, and I would request the physical members to please start for the best evaluator. Our first evaluator was Toastmaster Ritvik, and the second one was Toastmaster Bhavana. So I think it's done. Let's start with my evaluation for the speech evaluator. Talking about the first evaluator. Is the game done? Okay. So talking about the first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Ritvik, he read out the speech objectives that is required, and what I loved about his evaluation was how properly and accurately he gave all the examples in which Toastmaster Ankit could have improved upon. For example, he talked about time consideration, and he actually told us that what part in the speech he felt that this was a positive thing that Toastmaster Ankit did in speech. So that is one thing, and overall summarization in the end of his evaluation was very useful because as you give a detailed evaluation, so at the end the speaker gets an idea of all the major points that the evaluator discussed. And the main objective of Toastmaster Ankit's speech was, as the speech evaluator mentioned in the beginning, so it was about humor, and which Toastmaster Ritvik in his evaluation focused upon, and I'm sure Toastmaster Ankit has achieved that because we could see how the audience reverted on his speech. So I loved his evaluation, and one of the most detailed evaluation I've seen in a while. So congratulations on that. Talking about the second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Bhavan. I felt Toastmaster Bhavanan gave more commendations rather than the recommendations. So I would request Toastmaster Bhavanan to improve upon this and read out the evaluation form properly when the speaker sends it to you. You have certain, like I think, 8 to 10 points in that, in which you can evaluate the speaker who is on that particular level. So it becomes easy for the speech evaluator as well, because if we say like speech evaluator is on certain level and speaker is on some level, so that form gives you a proper idea on what are the major points that you have to evaluate upon. So that is one recommendation. And second recommendation is you could have given some examples. As I mentioned, Toastmaster Ritvik gave proper examples in the speech, so that could have been done. Otherwise, your speech report, evaluation report was also good, and I think you will improve upon next time. So that's it. Thank you. And now let me call upon our team of auxiliary soldiers with their report. So calling upon Toastmaster Arvind, who was the time.
Thank you very much, G. Guys, we are running 10 minutes behind our usual schedule, so I'm not going to take much time. I'll just quickly read who takes how much time. Timer Arvind, which is myself, take 1 minute 40 seconds. Language evaluator Raghav, 2 minutes 20 seconds. Our counter Hriday, 33 seconds. Speaker Ankit, 7 minutes 5 seconds. देखना भूलिए कोई भी भारतीय 9:30 बजे DTV पर. That's what Aviral 5 minutes 20 seconds. For the election for vice president membership, Aviral took 42 seconds. Kanav and Aviral tied at 42 seconds. Rajiv, I had my heart in my mouth when I see you 2 minutes crossing, and I thought you were going to disqualify, but thankfully it wasn't the case here. Vice President Public Relations Kanav 1 minute 52 seconds. Anmol 1 minute 54 seconds. Secretary Raghav Luna didn't say nothing. Respect 3 minutes 23 seconds. Bhavanand 3 minutes 20 seconds. Me myself 56 seconds. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Manager.
Toastmaster Arvind for that crisp report. Second auxiliary role player is Toastmaster Raghav, who was the language evaluator for today's meeting. I will welcome him on stage.
So, good evening, everyone. Once again, good evening. Good evening. When everyone was speaking the word of the day and the idiom of the day, it made me so happy. Like it made me feel like my purpose of coming today is done. So you guys made me feel good for 9 times. So the word of the day transpired was said 6 times, and the idiom of the day, once in a moonlight, was said 3 times. Some of the interesting words which were said throughout the meeting were bolster, which means support. Another word is alacrity, which means brisk and cheerful readiness. Another word is follow, which means an unfilled space or empty. And the last word is reciprocate, which means respond to a gesture or action by making a corresponding one. And one sentence, there was a mistake, which was she becomes their therapist. Instead of that, the correct usage is she becomes their therapist, because except pronouns I and V, except these pronouns, S and ES is used for all the other verbs. So that's all from my report. Back to the
I would call upon the third auxiliary role player, Toastmaster Hriday, who was our counter for today's meeting with his report.
Thank you, General Manager. So today, let's see who will get this scolding. Toastmaster Ankit said are the 2 times. There were no pauses, repetition 3 times. Toastmaster Aviral said a repetition 3 times, pauses 2, and are the numbers 3. Toastmaster did 2 with the 1 pause and 2 are the numbers. Toastmaster Bhavan had a repetition of 5 times and pauses 8 times. Toastmaster Navya had 2 repetitions, 3 pauses, and 9 arguments. Toastmaster Kanav had 5 pauses. Toastmaster Adi had 2 repetitions, 2 pauses, and 2 arguments. Toastmaster Arvind had 4 arguments, and Toastmaster Raghav had 2 repetitions only.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hriday. So I would request on our tech master to launch the polls, and I would request all the physical members to cast their vote for the best auxiliary role player. We had timer Toastmaster Arvind, language evaluator Toastmaster Raghav, and our counter Toastmaster Hriday. I think it's done. Thank you, everyone. So talking about my evaluation for all the auxiliary roles, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Arvind, his report was quite accurate. And what I love about his evaluation or speeches or reports, everything what he presents in the meeting every week. So is that he just so conveniently adds humor in his scripts and speeches. And today, as he came in the rush and he told how late he was running with the time, and he quickly had to give the report of the timer. In that little, it was like less than a minute even. So in that, even he added humor. So that is something that I love about speeches. So kudos on that. Then no recommendations from my side for the timer. Then talking about language evaluator, Toastmaster Raghav, he talked about the theme in the beginning with his introductory speech and explained his rules properly. And he has also been improving a lot recently. And humor is something that I think Raghav is also quite good at. And he also, I genuinely feel he had humor in every speech. So congratulations. And talking about our counter rhythm. So he came up, explained his role, explained the theme, his thoughts about the theme. And one recommendation that I feel he could have talked a little more about the theme in his introductory speech. And one I would appreciate Toastmaster Vijay for taking up a role every week. He has recently joined the club, it's been a month, I guess, and he has been quite regular. That's it from my end about the auxiliary roles there. Now talking about the meeting in general. The meeting started on time, sergeant at arms, always on time, and what we witnessed last week, like the logistics were not set up and the equipment are not there, so that did not happen this week. So that's a good thing. And we started on time. Everything was set up before 6:45. So thank you, Toastmaster Pooja, for being absolutely responsible sergeant at arms. And now talking about the theme and Toastmaster of the day. I love the beginning when she started with the theme. Theme actually today was quite fun and engaging. Plus, he conducted this activity by asking every single member of the club. Though we did not have a table topic segment today, but that activity gave every single member a chance to speak. So that is very good, and I love the starting, how engaging every single member felt. And then she explained all the three segments, and I think she did pretty good job today. That's it. Thank you, everyone. I love the meeting, and I hope we end it on the time. Thank you. Well, now I won't be taking much of the time, as we know we are already short on time. So, like I started the meeting today by saying that everybody has hobbies and that makes our life interesting, and that's how we're different from each other. I think the Toastmaster also provides us enough opportunities to further explore our hobbies and talk about them. So I hope we have more conversations and more fun in future meetings. On this note, I would like to call upon the president and hand over the stage to Toastmaster Sadhu.
Good evening, everyone. Before moving further, I would like to launch the ballot for the best role player. Our role player for today was our Toastmaster today, Toastmaster Pooja, and our general evaluator, Toastmaster Navya. Toastmaster Navya, could you please raise the ballot on the virtual stage as well? While the ballots are being counted, who do you think was the best speaker for the day? Was it Toastmaster Ankit or was it Toastmaster Avidan? It was indeed very tough. I counted the votes. It was Toastmaster Ankit Sinha. Who do you think was the best evaluator? Was it Toastmaster Ritik or was it Toastmaster Bhavana? It was Toastmaster Ritik. Who do you think was the best of the role player? Was it our timer with his pom-pom? Was it our language evaluator? Or was it our counter?
I think we should eliminate
At this point, we can randomly say anything. It was Toastmaster Arvind.
He's by default winning every role he plays. We need to eliminate him.
Do we have the results for the best roles here? Who do you think was the best role player? Was it our team or was it our general evaluator? It was our Toastmaster only Toastmaster. Now, I would like to make a few announcements. From this moment onwards, we are starting a guest feedback. At the end of each meeting, we would be taking a feedback from the guest. Unfortunately, in this meeting, we always have a special segment for the guest named by the name of table topic segment. The table topic segment is nothing but a segment where the guests specifically are required to come up on stage one by one. We, the table topic masters, give them one topic and the guests are required to speak on that topic for at least a minute and at max 2 minutes. Unfortunately, because of the elections we are having today, we were not able to have the table topic session. Yet, still, we would like to ask the guests, how did they feel about the meeting? What were their expectations from the meeting? We can start with the guests for meeting. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Actually, I did not know what is going to happen. I'm still trying to figure out what is happening. And maybe in few meetings, I may be able to figure out what actually all this is and where they are taking and what they are doing and what is the purpose behind it. It may take me some time to do it. Thank you.
We have with us guest Aditya. Guest Aditya will please come on stage. Tell us how did you feel about the meeting and what were your expectations?
So I came an hour late and today was the election, so I didn't get to know much, but I will show you it in the next meeting.
So we'll give a very quick and brief demonstration of what a typical meeting looks like to the guest. We always start off with the Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day brings in some sort of spice, some flavor to our mundane meeting by adding an interesting theme. After the Toastmaster of the day, we move on to the speeches. The speeches is the core of Toastmasters, where we are given time to prepare for a speech, and once we are ready, we come up on stage and we give a speech for about 5 to 7 minutes. After our speeches, how will we know how were our speeches? For that particular reason, we have the evaluation segment. In the evaluation segment, we follow the CRC approach. The CRC approach is a very famous approach, which says that, okay, always give a commendation. Then you can tell them how can they be better, but always conclude and close with a good compliment and a good commendation at the end. Last but not the least, we have this segment for the guests, the table topic. And in this segment, as I said, we call upon guests. We ask them to speak for at least a minute on any random topic decided by a table topic master. For further information, I would request the guests to stay till the end for the guest speaking. I would now ask all the members to come up on stage for a group picture.